Hey people, Intro here, 3v3, Cathari Ruins, blue team, we got some Eldar. Nightmare is a Farseer support hero fighting in melee combat. Some powerful buffs and control. This is the same Han elite scheme, recolored into blue, looks like, alongside eM7 with a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. Alongside them, rounding off the team, uphighdow3 is a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front line is the Goths elite scheme, is it? Red team, some Space Marine fellas. Slime as a Tech Marine starts off with ranged combat, can get a melee loadout, supports with structures and repairs. Alongside the legendary Dark Riku with an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. What's he up to? He's using some Dark Angels today, apparently. And rounding off the teams, TyranidTerror is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. He's running off there with the Word Bearers DLC. Back to the middle. Dark Riku up against some Eldar. Howling Banshees threaten the Apothecary, who has to heal himself. Attacks are busy capping, but they are able to fire while they do so if there's stuff in the direction they're facing, and of course in range. Apothecary messing up those Howling Banshees. The shotgun's doing some really good work there. Now he goes after some Guardians, and attacks did finish that cap, and a very good first engagement there for Dark Riku in the mid. Don't think you need to hold the chainsaw like that there, Mr. Apothecary. What's going on northeast? Some decapping Guardians, contested power up there. Howling Banshees on the prowl with Nightmare, taking the VP, having a look at the power, but now they've spotted the attacks of Dark Riku, and this could be a dodgy spot for them. Banshees in retreat path. Smartly moves the attacks down before retreating there so they don't get hit with those power swords as they run away. Double CSM for TyranidTerror. Warboss having a go. Getting close to the power, but he doesn't have any backup here. And must flee. The VP is blue though for these Orks in the southwest. Meanwhile, I think I heard a shotgun blast, yep, on the Farseer, I believe. Guide up on those Guardians, and more Howling Banshees coming in from eM7. Two Eldar players pushing against Dark Riku now. Has some backup from Slime. Some more tacks. And some more scouts, although these guys don't have shotguns, at least not yet. Double tacks for Slime, actually. And the Tech Marine coming back, so a bunch of bolter DPS coming in now. But they get suppressed by the Shuriken. Those guys out of position. Riku's tacks are back. War Shout goes through, suppressing these tacks here for Slime. And they also need to flee. All of a sudden, down on that bolter fire, aren't they? Tech Marine's in an awkward spot now. Probably a good idea to get the Mastercrafted bolter and or shotguns. I think it's a good idea to get both here against these double Eldar. They both have Banshees, they both have melee heroes. Well, the Warp Spider can teleport on you and melee you. Like that. Having a shotgun blast to stop this is very useful. Devastator's backing off, able to lose the Warp Spider's gaze there. Apothecary just hanging back, no reason to push into here and just be forced off. Trying to find a better position now for the Devastators is Dark Riku. As the Eldar bash power. They drop a model though. Big investment on this power push now by the Eldar. I guess they have everything else, right? They have both of these VPs. They have the contested power in the northeast. There's not much else for them to be doing with their time here. Aside from maybe splitting and helping the Warboss. Warp Spider is out of there. We got Assault Marines up now for Slime. There's the jump. Howling Banshees there to counter-initiate. A bit sluggish to do so, but now they go in. And we may see Guide thrown onto the Banshees here. Oh, there's a Spiritual Rights heal. Did not use the Guide yet, I don't think. Maybe waiting for the Shuriken. No, there's the Guide on the Banshees now. 30% more damage to those guys. Shuriken's forced off. And we do see the Mastercrafted Bolt Gun for the Tech Marine. Some good solid DPS and the awesome high-powered shot. And the customized Stormbolter is in too. This got buffed, didn't it? Up to 32 DPS now. I think he got buffed. Meanwhile, Warboss found some Chaos Space Marines to crush and crunk. And it's a pretty good crunking alongside the Pain Boy here, who's been very impressed by the boss bolt. Pain Boy has a heal over time and a damage over time melee weapon as well. What is this? Some power bashing tech marine action. 442 to 388 triple cap for the red team on this map. With no natural victory points, you do get a lot of triple caps. Typically get shorter games because of it. Tier 2 for Nightmare, the first player to go. Pain Boy cannot grab the VP there, but at least decapped it. Slime does have shotgun scouts in play, so shotguns and a mastercrafted bolter and assault marines up. Dark Riku goes tier 2. A relatively light tier 1. Just Devastator's shotguns and the customized Stormbolter. There's the assault squad jump. There's the counter initiation from the Banshees, but they're getting knocked around by special attacks and now a shotgun blast. Those ladies need support big time. I mean, they have the Spirit Stones. Warp Spider now has heavy gauge as well, so it could shut down the Apothecary and prevent him from healing. There's that Spiritual Rights heal. That's such a big heal. Banshees now have the guide. Assault squad off the field. Can they get these scouts out of here? The way they're moving, it's like they're looking for a grenade, but they don't have their sergeant. I'm not sure why they move like that. Slime does get them out of there though. And the Space Marines stay strong through the mid. They can now touch the power with Devastator support and some more attacks coming in. Nightmare in tier 2. Not looking for a Falcon, maybe looking for a Wraith Lord. And force the Tax to maybe purchase some missile launchers so they'll become less effective at fighting infantry. And maybe force this guy to get a las cannon. Apothecary just threw a heal out. Has the improved medical equipment and Armor of Purity coming in. Oh, but the Tech Marine goes down. Now the Apothecary can revive him with a heal, but he won't get the XP for it. Armor of Purity means... oh, he cancels the Armor of Purity. Blood Crusher on the way for TyranidTerror. What's going on here? Warboss having a go. Keeping the Chaos fellas pinned back. The Sorcerer with Sword of Flame and Vestments of the Warp. Eldar trying to break out. There's grenades. But they survive it. You saw there that the grenades were chucked behind the Devastators, trying to anticipate that they would retreat earlier into the grenades, but Dark Riku's too smart for that, apparently. Apothecary level 2 runs away. Can they get onto the power quickly here? They can certainly get onto it quickly, but can they bash it quickly? Banshees are not around. They are both still alive, though. Oh, what is that? 371 to 385. Some Stern Guard coming in for Dark Riku, I think. Yup. First Company Marines that can change their ammo to combat all targets, to switching to the acidic Hellfire rounds there to shoot the Banshees. Now they'll be on a cap. And it is a Falcon for Nightmare in the end. Support vehicle for Eldar. Some good firepower. And he can reinforce off it and jump inside of it and get transported around. Slime with a Dreadnought on the way. And there's the Blood Crusher doing some good work in the Orky territory. Almost got the Warboss. Can now fight some Sluggers. Not a whole lot the Sluggers can do about it. This guy has vehicle armor. Not a huge amount of it, just 600 hit points, but it's enough to blood crush some Sluggers, I guess. Shooter boys can't do much either. Now it's trying to bash power. Sorcerer's down in the southwest. Dreadnought is up for Slime. The Tech Marine, though, is still down. And there's 2 red heroes down. Riku could use Laraman's Blessing if he had the red for it, but he spent it on the Stern Guard. 350 to 381. Assault squad. Chuck out the Melter. The Banshees got inside the Falcon there. That was a bit weird. Able to get rid of him. Those Hellfire rounds doing a lot of good work here. Yeah, I think Riku's probably just waiting to get Laraman's Blessing up. Blood Crusher coming through. TyranidTerror splitting his forces, which is always an amazing thing to do in a 3v3. If you have a player in your team that's good at splitting their forces, it can make such a huge difference, especially if they are the mid player and they have a faction that's good mobility. Here's the revive. I wonder if the Apothecary will trek down to the southwest to try and revive the Sorcerer like that. We just saw the warp there, teleporting the Blood Crusher to the Sorcerer's location, even if he is down. Getting the Blood Crusher out of trouble and into this more favourable trouble here, fighting some Orks. Got some Heretics in play, and use your choppers and Ardboys on the Sluggers there. Some Warboss buffs. Can they wipe out those Heretics? They can. And this Blood Crusher is getting kind of low. I mean, you smack it long enough with Sluggers, it will go down. Now Tank Busters in play. They are a massive threat to the Blood Crusher. Looks like a Dark Riku is having a look here to try and revive maybe. You hear Banshees war shouting. Is the Blood Crusher going to make it out? Nope, did not make it out. But here we see some Banshees having a go. Dreadnought with a barrage. Well, that's put to bed with Haywire Grenade. No barraging for you there. He may go down actually. Assault Squad trying to do something. Farseer thought she could catch the Assault Squad with the Levitation Field, but they were already gone. And the Dreadnought did not do much before going down. Didn't even get to do his little barrage thing. Sorcerer's back to his feet thanks to the Apothecary. Warboss is down. Sorcerer does a fancy special attack and runs away. And these Stern Guard with Vengeance rounds are power bashing. But what is this? Marauding Orks bashing power is what it is. Tank Busters are pretty damn good power bashers, as you saw there, and Sluggers have their burners and their Knob Leader, and they're supported by a Pain Boy. A level 3 Pain Boy too. 212 to 381 on the VPs. Dark Riku going tier 3. What is this? Still the Stern Guard putting pressure on the Falcon. Look at the damage they did all alone. And they didn't drop a model either. Banshees. Some Warp Spiders too. And more Banshees. I think the Stern Guard are going to be okay though. Looks like it. Can the Orks get the southwest VP back? Tank Busters are trying. Mark of Khorne, Chaos Space Marines now for TyranidTerror. And some Mark of Tzeentch fellas. Mark of Khorne guys can go toe-to-toe with the Sluggers, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out when these guys have Pain Boy support. These fellas will have Coruscating Flame, maybe. But they were low going into the fight there. And yeah, with Warboss buffs as well, it's going to tip that fight towards the Sluggers considerably. Might have been worth just getting the Aspiring Champion and using Slaughter. And, you know, maybe some Havocs or something. 206 to 330. Chains of Torment as well. From the Robes of Torment could do some work. But a teleport is nice. Gives her that mobility to get onto backlines quickly, as we saw there on the Guardian's Grenade. CSM ate it. 205 to 330. I don't think I've noticed the Apothecary using full auto. I mean, he must have used it. Got some combat stims now. Devastators stop the Banshees in their tracks, and now TyranidTerror rotating up, although some Daka is following them. And there's your Warboss. What's he got? Got a bunch of stuff. Bang Bang Hammer, Spiky Armor, and Boss Pole. Really bad news for these Heretics. And that Bang Bang Hammer just buffs the Sluggers even more for the melee brawls that they're going to get into. Level 4 as well. Tank Busters here. Bashing power. Good use of them. Meanwhile, scouts from Riku are trying to cap the southwest. Warboss revives the Warp Spider, some sparkly Eldar to help him out. Level 5 now. Heretics need to run, or at least back away. Couldn't finish the cap. Shooter boys are painful, eh? When you're some scouts, level 3 shooters. CSM going in. They didn't have their Aspiring Champion. Yeah, they are getting wrecked by the Sluggers there. Hard Boys went up again. And that was without... I don't think they even needed a heal there. And that was without Bang Bang buffs as well. Sorcerer goes down 205 to 315 on the VPs. eM7 with his double warp spiders. Supported by the Falcon. Well, all this stuff is supported by the Falcon. Slime doesn't have any weapons on his tacks. There's high-powered shot. And a shotgun blast as well. Banshees are dealt with. Quite quickly, actually, there. Farseer's got the gravity blade, as we saw earlier. Spirit stones are still in. Where's that warp spider? Here he comes. Does have that heavy gauge. Warp spiders are blob capping. Eldar trying to get onto this power, but they are responding in force, the Space Marines. Double cap for the blue team. Mark target on the Falcon now. Some Dark Flames tucked in by TyranidTerror. That's good awareness of your map there. Helping out his allies with their push. There's heavy gauge on the Apothecary. He's alright now, dancing a bit of a jig. And heals himself. Orks rampaging through the south. Are we going to get a Mark of Khorne Chaos Dreadnought now for TyranidTerror? That's going to be really bad news for the sluggers. Maybe the tank busters can help out though, eh? Can the CSM get out? Barely, but they did make it out. Mark of Khorne Dreadnought popping the Blood Rage. Increasing damage and damage resistance, but you lose control of the Dreadnought while it's active. Also ups the speed a bit, I believe. Tank busters are there though. They will happily bust a Dreadnought. Triple cap for the blue team. Fire Prism on the way for Nightmare. They are taking the northeast back thanks to Tactical Marines of Dark Riku, but power's being hit here. Oh, Land Raider Redeemer though for Dark Riku. That could make a massive difference, although up against double Eldar with double Warp Spiders could be dicey. Bunch of Haywires and Eldritch Storms. Got to get their power back down here. Looks like Slime is going to help the counter push for TyranidTerror. Where's the Sorcerer? Oh, he's right there. So we're going to see a revive. And maybe a level 4 Tech Marine too. Is it enough? It is. Level 4 is in. Riku gets some scouts, replaces the scouts that he lost to support the Land Raider. And Stern Guard on capping duty. Fire Prism can knock him off it though, like that. Oh, they're still close enough to decap. Maybe? Oh, they stopped decapping to shoot back here. There's the heal. But look at the damage from those Warp Spiders. And another Fire Prism shot went in too. Banshees on the Apothecary. He manages to level to 6. And there's that Land Raider retreating back to the Land Raider to keep these guys in play and safe. It could become huge nuke bait though. What is this? An assist from Slime and TyranidTerror. And what are you doing there, Mr. Sorcerer? It looked like he was doing the animation for subjugation, but I think he was just posing for us in the time field there. Armor Versurin is up. Land Raider Redeemer needs to do a lot of heavy lifting here. Riku's using it to push these guys back and create space for the cap in the mid. Red team have the southwest, so there's the 2-to-1 for them. Avatar of Cain on the way for eM7. Nob squad on the field for uphighdow3. And they will happily fight even a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought, especially with Warboss support. Momentum hammers up. Bang bang hammer buffs. Need to teleport this guy out of here, I think. I think he tried to do it there at the end, but it was a bit too late. Yeah, look, you see the marker. Did it a bit too late. Dreadnought couldn't get away. And yeah, TyranidTerror could be struggling to deal with those Orks now. I'd say maybe get double Havocs with overlapping heavy bolter fire. Try and control that Nob squad and the Warboss and the Sluggers. The tank busters could barrage one of them over. But I think it's worth it. Or get the Robes of Torment. That would do a lot here. 153 to 116 on the VPs. Some Bloodletters as well, I think. In there alongside your CSM would be good. What is this? It's power bashing. CSM doing what they can, but against a Nob squad, that is a really bad fight for them. With Warboss buffs as well. They had Odd Boys, now they have User Choppers as well. And those CSM are wiped. I don't think it's smart. Well, they're gone now, but it's not smart to even try to fight them, I think. I think the way to use them there would have been to try and suck these guys into another fight and send the CSM after the tank busters, maybe. Also to get Robes of Torment, which he doesn't have the resources for. 153 to 87. Wailing Doom does some decent work. Can it finish off the assault squad? No, it's okay. Is Slime retreating? Yeah, Slime has set the Land Raider as a retreat point. Last Cannon's getting some good shots. Warp Spider's coming in though to try and delete them. That is so much damage. Level 2. We now have a Las Cannon Predator, hey? Can try and trade with the Fire Prism. Should trade quite well unless the Fire Prism can maximize range, of course. And the Orks are still rampaging in the south. There's another Markov Pawn Dreadnought. But I think it's going to have the same fate unless it can warp it out. Left it too late again. It goes down. Goes down while it was warping. Hard luck for TyranidTerror, but you got to do it a bit earlier. Because it does take a few seconds to fire. And any melee swings that start will go through, even if it's in the warp. Double cap for blue team. I think they've done enough. The Land Raider can't carry everything. Level 6 Apothecary for Riku. Bunch of Eldar vehicles to deal with now. That's kind of doing some good work though, eh? If the Apothecary was closer, he could combat stims those guys. They've got a 2-to-1. There is something on the central VP though, I think. The tank is trying to chase down the Fire Prisms. I could have got a Falcon. Assault squad being aggressive. They do have that Melter Bomb in their pocket. And the Avatar now taking a bunch of damage. It might be worth getting plasma guns up and stuff. This guy still has Mastercrafted Bolter. Got that marked target though. Apothecary level 7 now. Big heal on those tacks. Where are the Stern Guard? Oh, the Stern Guard are dead. Not sure what happened to those fellas. I don't see them anywhere. Predator tank goes down. 135 to 20. 2-to-1 for the blue team. Orks looking very scary in the mid. TyranidTerror trying to recover. Has some tacks. CSM and some heretics. But the Sorcerer himself is down. Terminator's in now for Dark Riku. Instantly fighting for their lives against a mob of Orks. Angels of Death is dropped. 50% damage resistance for the Apothecary's army. Bloodletter's called in with the Circle of Summoning there. Demonic Summoning. Land Raider in trouble. Eat some Haywires. Tank busters are there as well. They're very close. The Terminator's wiped, but they did get the decap. Down to 4 VPs, just desperation for the red team. What level is this Warboss? Level 9 with a Power Claw and heavy armor. Well over 2,000 hit points. Absolute menace, that guy. Double missile attacks. Good hits. There's the marked target. Maybe it's been used already. I think they're going to get that Fire Prism. Yep, Fire Prism down. There's 2 more up there, though. Red team holding on. Uh-oh, Eldritch Storm. And a Rocks. Land Raider's going to fall. Down it goes. Blue team are capping the northeast, but red team are capping southwest. Somehow they're holding on. But maybe not for much longer. Riku's just down to Tactical Marines with that desperation push on the mid. Slime's tax. You okay, fellas? Farseer poacher. I'll poach you to death. Yeah, and those attacks will wipe as well. Red team are done for. Sorcerer's alive though. CSM trying to get onto the mid. I think they're probably trying to concede Riku, which is why those attacks died in there. Banshee's yelling. Some power melee kicks. Why do they kick? You have some fancy swords. What are you kicking for? On 1 VP, they have a 2-to-1 cap somehow. Farseer switches back to Spirit Stones. Wailing Dooms herself while the eM7 did the Wailing Doom. Orks on the mid now. Yeah, red team got this, look. Not going to last long though, surely. You guys going to cap or just want to fight stuff? Trying to convince Orks to cap. Sometimes tricky. There we go. Sluggers are on it. There's the 2-to-1. And there is the game for the blue team. Some frantic fighting. Level 5 Farseer. Level 4 Warp Spider. Level 9 Warboss. Very effective in the south. I think TyranidTerror should have got the Robes of Torment up, and the Mark of Pawn CSM in hindsight were a mistake. And of course not warping out the double dreadnoughts in time. The Space Marines did what they could to carry level 7 Apothecary and level 6 Tech Marine. But the Orks just got too powerful with TyranidTerror's losses. There you have it. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see ya next time.